makes them potentially very interesting to some of the investors in this room. And now give Ty the floor.
Did you change the presentation? Hi everyone, my name is Itai Dickstein, it's a German name. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Dabeshet. Dabeshet means the hand of the camel. We believe that it has some connection with the medicinal values, and of course it's something that correlates good with Israel. Also, I think it's a name that's easy to spell. So what we do, we take cannabis, try to make it medicinal for the patients. Okay, you can see two of the approaches towards medical cannabis. I took the Swiss and the Israeli one. Though they are different in some parts, they share a common trait, and that is that cannabis, though being treated as a medicine, still does not qualify to the pharmaceutical standards that we have set in the Western world. Now, the problem lies in a couple of reasons. The first one is that there's no drug standardization currently when a patient, for example, inhales or smokes cannabis. Second is the inability to control different molecules, for example, the difference between THC and CBD while treating with cannabis. And the last one is to minimize side effects and drug addiction that still goes with cannabis. Now, as you can see here, the picture is not that good, but these are two of Israeli cannabis suppliers to patients in Israel. It shows here that the important molecules for treatment, the THC, CBD, and CBN, are prescribed in percentages and as a spectrum. Now, what I'm basically trying to say is, while Western drugs are prescribed by molecules and milligrams, cannabis is still supplied in percentages and strains. So, how can we pharma standardize a whole plant? We at Dabeshet believe that some matters need to be addressed. That is why we develop a novel pharmaceuticals administration device. First, it's a device that is personal, allows every patient to carry the device with him. Second, allowing accurate, with minimum variance between intakes, and an accurate dosage that a doctor can prescribe for the patient. We also allow molecular selection. That means the doctor can prescribe the dosage while addressing specific molecules such as THC, CBD, and the many other molecules that are relevant for medical treatment. We also try to keep the highest purity standards currently in the market. That goes along with cross-contamination that many devices currently have. We work with multi-substance. That means not just flower, that can go with oils, tinctures, and other variants of the medicine. And of course, we allow a smart way to allow a doctor to prescribe and keep tracking of the patient treatment. So how can we do this? What's behind that technology? What we basically do is we break down different molecules when the plant is vaporized. This allows us to select and view the different molecules, different types of cannabinoids that we want. This also allows us to disgrace different non-healthy substances such as lead or any other substances that aren't good. And then we reassemble the molecules, keeping all the default preferences of the molecule as it was inserted, allowing a patient to inhale a specific dosage with specific relevant molecules. Now, though we are all here for cannabis, cannabis is just one organic substance. There are many other organic substances that, while in modern pharmaceuticals, they were synthesized and lost some of the organic abilities and values that they have. This is why we don't keep ourselves only limited to cannabis. There's other opiates and other organic substances that are relevant. That's it. That's us.
Okay, so our next company proves my point about where Israel is going to lead in the cannabis field. And my point is very simple. Israel is going to lead where Israel always leads. Growing flowers, Israel has already missed the train, and in any case, it wouldn't have been able to lead the train very long because of all the cheap countries that are coming online, as we mentioned before, Colombia, South America, and some relatively inexpensive Middle Eastern countries. And the company we have now is the company I mentioned in the beginning. And they come from the genomic field, and this is where Israel has some of its expertise, agricultural input, and technology. And I'll let Guy Cole tell a little bit more about the company.
Thank you. So I'm Guy Cole. I'm one of Energene's founders. Energene is up and running for more than 10 years now, so it's not exactly a startup anymore. But I'll try to kind of focus on the value we bring. And not tell you so much about the company itself. We're basically like 55 people, and we mainly are focusing on actually going to market now. And what I'll try to explain now is how do we bring value to the customers we work with. So basically, we work with companies that are trying to control their chain of the chain of breeding that actually brings value to their final product. So if you want to have anything, coffee, cannabis, maize or anything, you need to understand what is going to happen in that plant you're taking the product from. And so there are some plants and organisms that are very well known, and they're controlled for many years. Maize is a very good example. Soy is another one, but many others, cannabis included, are new and were never bred really. And that control over what exactly is the plant producing and at what level and what efficiency is critical to understand your business. And so we are actually bringing a solution to the genomic understanding of that organism that is the base for the whole chain. And how do we do that? So we first want to be able to work with breeding companies. Pure Production is, for example, is one very successful one in cannabis. And we want to help those companies be more successful, more efficient, and get to their targets easier, so getting to market closer and faster. How do we actually achieve that? It's basically a set of capabilities that starts from nothing and enables one to come up with a new organism that he knows very little about and end up with a very profound, I would say modern molecular breeding scheme that can actually take you to where modern seed companies are in today. So you start with understanding a single genome of that organism, and you gradually build understanding of genomes, of diversity, of genotyping. They're all technical issues that you have to have in order to have a modern breeding scheme. And Pure Production is an example of how Energene is actually helping cannabis companies get there. So you take a raw material, you sometimes know very little about your raw material, and you're focusing the genetics of that material to something that it helps in your business. So how do we actually achieve that? We have a set of actual products that are mainly around analysis of very large big data, genomic big data sets that can take you from a breeding population, sometimes that you know very little about, through understanding the DNA of those plants and the correlation between the DNA and what are those plants producing, to a set of outcomes that are predictive, efficient to get to, and you can grow from year to year during the cycles and actually improve your basically ROI on the whole process investment. So if you're going to think large scale, industrial scale production, you have to know what your yields are going to be, what are the investment in the process going to be, how am I going to prove, how am I going to produce IP on those plants. All those, Energy can help in actually get you the right profession help, the right data and the right cost, and of course to help you set up the process to actually do that in industrial scale. What do we actually get from the process of it? So what you actually want as a company, you want to have your own elite lines. The lines that are actually containing or producing the exact combination of outcomes that you would like to have in your business. Because you need more CBD, because you need less THC, whatever is the exact need, you have to push the plants to actually produce that. And we can help you actually get there very professionally and very quickly and cost effectively. And we prove that with large companies like Monsanto and Syngenta on one side, and like Bridgestone, who are actually producing rubber from a plant very similar in kind of a concept to what you guys are doing with cannabis. So with that, I think I'll finish. Thank you everyone for having me.
Thank you. So our next company is a company where talk about product placement, these guys know how to do it. Because you've been seeing their name all over the place all day. The company is Hempfy, and Hempfy is the company that provided us with those delicious drinks today. Our speaker is Dr. Gladys. Sorry, I'm not even going to attempt the last name. And I'll let him say his last name, because he can probably say it without screwing it up like I would most likely do. There.
Hello everyone, my name is Vladas Snekus. Thank you. Yeah, in fact, I'm really happy to be here. Myself, I'm a doctor with a 15 years experience from pharmaceutical industry. But what I am here today, I'm coming with Hempfy, the product which you already, perhaps majority of you tried, and I hope you liked it. But in fact, it's a very interesting topic to speak about cannabis in this session, because we saw in one of the presentations it was legal, then illegal, again legal, and we tried to look a bit further. Our objective for the company was actually to build a product which would be a qualitative product, but also a mass consumer's product. How many of you know or heard about the brand name called Schweppes?
Yes.
Of course, everybody. Did you know that Schweppes started its pathway in Switzerland? So from that scratch, the company became well-known, global, and this is how we envision ourselves. With the Swiss roots, our vision is going global. How do we do it? We created the product called Hempfy, which is exactly the hemp infusion. And with this product, we focus not on the function, but we focus on the taste. Because first of all, it's a beverage. It's a mass consumer beverage, so the consumers should love the product. And how do you love the product? First, you try it. You take a sip, and either you love it or not. In our case, we did a study, and also we collected some statistics. We see that over 90% of our consumers who tried the product once, they like to purchase it. So it's really astonishing to see this happening. And we started in Switzerland, going region by region, shop by shop. Now we are listed in all across Switzerland and already exporting to other countries. So what is actually Hempfy? Hempfy we provide in several SKUs, several tastes. But first of all, we position ourselves as legal hemp infusion, as legal hemp product. And this product is actually legal probably all across the world, with the exception of few countries where you cannot show perhaps the leaf or you cannot mention the name cannabis. But itself, we have no THC, no CBD. So how come? Because we focus on getting the product of the taste, but in fact, you get everything from the plant. This is infusion. It's a refined product, but of course you don't have THC and CBD. With this kind of formulation, we were able to export to Germany, UK, different countries all across Europe. So, first of all our production and farming happens in Switzerland. We have the Swiss roots. And with the current development in Switzerland, we see that this product is actually having a huge traction. So we started with sachets, and sachets now we see as a volume-making product, which we sell in co-op, in tobacco shops. We even sell this product also in duty-free, the airports. How many of the hemp products do you know sold in duty-free? None. And Hempfy is. Next product is in bottles. It's premium tonic, and it's the first and the only hemp tonic in the world. So a part of the refreshment part, you can also mix a cocktail with gin, with vodka, with rum, or even with wood. And the other product, which is actually very, very new, just 1 month, this is a mix between the chasselas wine and hemp infusion. The color is really intriguing because it's bright, nearly as water, but the taste has nothing to do with champagne. It's actually the taste you get, the taste of hemp, and afterwards you get the aftertaste. So this is where we started, but we always question ourselves, where do we go? And of course, with starting Hempfy, building the production line, we have also established the research and development. We do research and development with our partners here in Switzerland. We received several grants from InnoSwiss, and we are preparing ourselves for CBD technologies, how to transport, because as you all know, bioavailability is the key. So with the research we established, we have a good cooperation with HESO, with InnoSwiss, and also Fitoart, with Swiss Food Research. This helped us to actually raise the question, how do we make it from the research part, how do we bring on the industrial scale? And this is key important part, because we are making volume with our product. Of course, 34,000 patients, as I heard from one presentation, is a lot. In our case, we are actually going to the mass consumption. So we looked at this project, and now we are also going ourselves into B2B projects as well, with ice cream production, with toothpaste production, with creams, and so forth. So in fact, now we are sold all across in Switzerland. We just entered Germany. Within 1 month, we are listed in the first 150 shops Rede, but we already sell and export also to Israel, UK, even Costa Rica. So it's a really nice story. But to finalize, actually, when mass media, perhaps all of you read in the articles that there were some rumors that cannabis Coca-Cola is coming, right? It was. But in fact, there's nothing to show. So we were on CNN to speak about cannabis Coca-Cola, but we were showing Hempfy. The same happened with Reuters. Everybody is speaking about medical cannabis, but what to show? We are showing Hempfy. So, while others still developing, we are already performing. So, invest in Hempfy.
So our next and last but not least company is going to be presented by Jorge Wernley, who you saw before in the previous panel. And this is a very interesting company because it's a highly international company. It was started by Mary Wernley, who came out of the pharma industry and hails from Israel originally, but she's lived in Switzerland for many, many years. And Jorge Wernley, who hails from Brazil, but also lives in Switzerland. The company is actually public on the Australian market, and they have connections with Canada. And basically, they looked at everything and took a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and they've come up with an amazing company that's gotten a lot of progress. And I'll turn the floor over to Mr. Wernley.
Thank you very much, Laura. So I have the pleasure and the honor to wake you up again a little bit, right? So the following, this is Creso Pharma. Creso Pharma, as you can see, we have origins from Israel. The CEO is Israeli. She was the founder, one of the founders of the company. We are based in Switzerland, but we are also an Australian company. So pretty international. We are in therapeutics, nutraceuticals, we are in animal health, we're in lifestyle, and we are in topicals. So the vision of the CEO, which was presented also to the investors, and which was one of the key factors, is that we want to bring in the pharmaceutical rigor and the quality into the cannabis industry and the standardization. And we are basically focusing on the need on the delivery system. Because as you know today, as it was said today, you know what was the delivery system today? It's flowers and oil. Right? So smoke, oil, where you have tea, right? But we basically want to have a delivery system where we have a high absorption, a fast absorption, and a high bioavailability. That's what we focus on. We're on the stock exchange in Australia, and our market cap, as I said before, is small cap. Goes from 60 million to 100 million. Its small cap is very, very good. This is our presence. So international operations we have in Switzerland. We have growing in Canada, where we have a closed facility, GMP facility of 25,000 square feet, where we grow our cannabis. We have in Colombia, where we grow outside, and we have in Israel a joint venture where we grow, and we have in Australia basically our financial office. This is the team. We are now 15 people globally, actually 30 people globally, and we are here in Switzerland together with Israel. We are 6. Yeah. This is basically we are basically integrated, and our business model is working with high reputation commercial partners. So like in the animal health, we work with Virbac, who is the number 8 in the world in animal health. We work in the nutraceuticals area. We work with Dutch Creso, pharmaceutical company here in Switzerland, which sells also the Creso pastillen, you know. And we basically, in UK, we operate with PharmaCare. So this is on the nutraceutical area. This is our growing facility in Canada, in Nova Scotia. This is our growing area in Colombia. And this is our operations in Asia. Here are our products. So we have CannQuix, which was launched that is now 7-8 months ago here in Switzerland, first country. Now we are also in UK, and we are also in the Netherlands. We also have a topical one, which is called Canadol. We are basically in 3 markets. We are in the market of anxiety and stress with CannQuix. We are in chronic pain, which basically is used also by sports people. And we are also in topicals with chronic pain. And we are in sleep. So this is the CannQuix product. Then we have the animal health products for actually stress reduction. That's when you have a lot of noise, or when you separate from your dog or cat. And these are the products of the medical cannabis, which are now being prepared and being developed, and which we will launch here also in Switzerland. This is our pipeline, as you can see. And we also have products which, nutraceuticals, which are not only CBD, but are hemp seed oil products. That's it. And yeah, thank you very much.
So Armin, we have only another 2 hours to go, right? So 15 more presentations and we are done. So, thank you very much for coming. We hope very much that all the entrepreneur, the younger and less young entrepreneur, and investors and interested parties will find themselves here, and we are going to get a lot of feedbacks that a lot of business came out of today's meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, for staying with us. 8 hours of conference on medical cannabis. Thank you to the entire Handelskammer team, assistants, to Ilan Bolak and Mr. Fletcher, with the IT support. Everything works smoothly, fantastic job. Become a member of the Chamber of Commerce. You can find us on www.swissisrael.ch and enjoy one of these cannabis Swiss gums. Wonderful, you'll have a fantastic sleep tonight.
I just wanted to say you're all welcome to join us at the reception upstairs, and so I guess there's going to be something to drink, I hope.
Not only to drink.
Drink, eat, and be merry. Thank you all for coming. And